if you're seeing this, then I actually intended to do reaction videos for the Eurovision songs of 2020. The thing is, Eurovision 2020 has been cancelled, and we all know why, and that's the reason I'm not going to mention it, but we all know why Eurovision got cancelled. The EBU has decided that only the artists are eligible to participate next year, but not the songs. That means, as good as some of those songs are, they're not going to be Eurovision songs anymore. Although, I still plan on buying the CD if it should come out. At the moment, the release for the CD is scheduled to be on the 8th of May according to Amazon. Because some of those songs are actually very decent. Hello, I'm Robert of Planet Kretzel, and today, in spite of the fact that Eurovision has been cancelled and I no longer want to react to the songs because it has no use, I'm going to tell you something else. I'm going to talk about how I discovered Eurovision for me and how I simply stayed because I found something that I really enjoy. I have started watching Eurovision in 2010. I don't know if the most people remember, but 2010 was the year of Lovely Lena. In 2010, the Eurovision Song Contest has been hosted in Oslo, Norway. And I actually didn't know a lot about the contest. I have heard about it, of course. Mainly complaints about artists like Lodi, but hey, complaining, that's Germany for you. It's also sometimes referred to as Grand Prix or Eurovision de la Chanson. Sorry for my bad French. When I first heard the German Eurovision song, I thought, I don't like it. Her English is so bad. Like, her pronunciation was way off. But this was apparently what people liked about it. No, people actually didn't. This issue has been addressed several times, and once she even sang about, if you still don't like it, I sing the song again, in those exact words. But I didn't like it. I always said, I could sing it better. Okay. But of course I'm not going to prove that statement. What a surprise, huh? Then there was this one evening. I didn't have much to do, and I was zapping through the channels. Or flicking through the channels. You decide which word suits better. And suddenly I came across the first semi-final. The first Eurovision song that I have heard on stage during the competition was the song from Iceland, Je ne sais quoi by Hera Björk. And I listened to the song and I saw the performance and I was like, oh my god, I really like this. I actually enjoy this music. I checked out the TV planning and I was actually looking for the word TV guide, but apparently my brain didn't make the connection. And I saw, okay, on Thursday, because it was a Tuesday, on Thursday there is another semi-final that I could watch. It was quite late. It's always broadcasted quite late, I don't know why. Maybe because of being live and stuff. Yeah, no kidding. And I tuned in for the second semi-final. Thinking back, apparently I wasn't actually aware of what was happening. Because I was listening to the songs, some I liked, some I didn't. And then I saw the selection process, which songs were going to progress to the final. This is the important part, where I think, okay, I didn't know what was going on, because for years to come, this is going to be my favorite part during the semi-final. And after those songs were decided and I went to bed, I thought, I'm going to give this Eurovision stuff a go. So I tuned into the grand final and watched all the songs and was thrilled by everything that was happening. And there was this voting time and everyone was casting their votes, and then the voting time was over, and then they actually announced the votes, and it just went 12 points for Germany, 12 points for Germany, 12 points for Germany. And I was so thrilled, like, oh my god, she could win this competition. I was so pumped, I was so hyped. I didn't know any feeling like this before, actually. A statement which clearly identifies me as a nerd. And then it was announced that Germany had actually won the Eurovision Song Contest for the second time in Eurovision history, the first time being in 1982, with Nicole and Ein bisschen Frieden. Before you ask, sometimes, even if I'm German, I like to pronounce things like I'm not German. It's fun. I was happy. It was fun. And this is the reason I decided to stay. In the coming year, the Eurovision Song Contest 2011, which was celebrated in Düsseldorf. I know Düsseldorf, it's a very beautiful city. I got hooked with something else. With the logo and the slogan. When I watched in 2010, I didn't actually realize how important this was. And when I saw the visual identity of this contest, I just thought, wow, this is so beautiful to look at. And 2011 is a year with a lot of songs that I still can remember, and a few of them I still even listen to. Wait, one of them is from Croatia. It's called Celebrate by Daria. I still listen to the song to this day because I enjoy it. I can't remember how it fared in the contest. It can be that it actually was dumped during the semi-finals, but I don't care. I really like listening to it. Back in the time, I wasn't hyped enough actually to suck up every information I could get. In fact, on the next day after the grand final in Düsseldorf, someone asked me which country won, and I accidentally said the wrong country. I didn't say Azerbaijan, I said another country. I don't know which country I said, but it was the wrong country. So I was like, oh, that is a mistake. I want to be a fan. In 2012, however, I have to say, that was a year where I thought, I didn't like that many songs that year. But I still enjoyed watching it. One of the things that I enjoy about watching Eurovision is the selection process, for example. Like, when you watch the semi-finals and you are done with the performances and now it's down to the 10 best songs. And I think it was in 2012 or 2013 that I have actually started to actually write down which country songs did I like, which country songs didn't actually work with me. And when this selection process came, I started yelling like if I wanted Cyprus to go to the final, I would be sitting in front of a television like, Cyprus! Cyprus! And I still do that every year. No matter how much it annoys my mother and she tells me to calm down and be quiet, I still do it. And every time a country I yelled was chosen, I was like, yes! And this is one of the best things to enjoy during Eurovision, apart from listening to the songs, of course. And it was in 2013 where I found the host very, very funny. It was when I realized when they host this event, they actually not are just trying to show off the country and the city they're hosting it in. It's also about being funny and generating enjoyment and stuff. It was so nice. It was so wonderful. In 2014, which in my opinion was another quite slow year because also there are not many likable songs or songs I remember instantly. To be perfectly honest, this year is like a blur in my memory. I don't know why, it just zipped past. I actually found it very interesting what won, so the act that won the contest. It was just like, it felt interesting. Of course, 2014 was, 1 year before the Eurovision depression for Germany started. in 2015, and I see 2015 as some kind of game changer. I think Eurovision changed as they changed the logo. Like, they have revamped it. And I really like the revamp. And I felt there was a shift in music quality. Because since 2015, every contest has been dead on. So many songs to like, so many songs to listen to. It was in 2015 when Germany wasn't quite lucky with its song. That was because in the pre-selection the guy who actually won declined to go, and then the second placed had to go and brought home 0 points and finished last. It was also the year Australia joined, which in my opinion is a great thing, because I like variety when it comes to countries and music and also languages. There are, for example, a few good songs that are not in English, they're in other languages. Languages I don't speak or understand, but I really like to listen to these songs because the language makes them interesting. There are even 2 or 3 songs that were performed in English in the contest, but were actually recorded in their native language, and they would have fared better in the contest if they had been sung in their native language. Well, and then there were 2016, 17, 18, and 19. This feeling of excitement, the yelling at the screen. Also, when in the grand final the points were announced, I was also yelling every time they were announcing the 12 points. Like, give the 12 points to Greece! Or to Bulgaria! And in 2017, I think, it was when I started buying stuff from the official Eurovision store. Every time I order, I at least get a mug and a scarf. Because in 2017, they have started with mugs with the official logo for this year, for that year, with a slogan. And that was very interesting. So I began collecting those event mugs. And 1 year later they introduced the event scarves, and it was just like, okay, event mug, event scarf, and whatever suits the bill. And I really enjoy collecting those things. I also enjoy like using the mugs on the day of the final, but only on the day of the final as some kind of lucky charm. I really like wearing the scarves all at once. No, not all at once. Like, I've got one country scarf of the United Kingdom, and the other 2 scarves are the event scarves of 18 and 19, and I was wearing both. And I can remember it was so wonderful when I unpacked everything. Just like looking at this and knowing this is mine now, that was so beautiful. Also, I want to collect some of my favorite countries. The first one's right there, the United Kingdom. Since 2011, I actually want the United Kingdom to win the contest because it's my favorite country. And also, I think if I would go down there to a holiday, then if Eurovision is at the same time, you hit 2 birds with 1 stone. This is what I really would like to do. If I could have afforded it, then maybe I would have gone to Rotterdam for Eurovision. But, well, that's over the hill now, isn't it? Another particular thing I can remember, in 2018, that were the last months of my apprenticeship, and I was going in the exam phase, and those are very important to actually pass, and on the day of a final exam, I took this CD with me to school. I had it with me as my lucky charm. And I made it. I passed. Because of this lucky charm. And I can remember during the morning I was brought to school. I was because someone gave me a ride. I didn't have to use the train. I was listening to the United Kingdom's song Storm by Suri, and it was this positive vibe that gave me hope that I can do it. This is what I I also like about Eurovision music, it gives you certain emotions. Like, you can be happy, you can be sad, you can also be angry, that's possible. Yeah. And with every year I continue watching the contest, I find more and more. I really like the reveal of the official logos and slogans because they are so nice every year. I especially like 2019 because in the years prior, everything has been like round and round and round, and a star is not round, and that's what I like about it. Yeah. That is a little part of my personal Eurovision history. Things I wanted to tell you what I think about the contest. And one thing above all these is that I am a person who believes in the premise the contest has been founded on. That for one evening or for 1 week, we can come together, and it doesn't matter where we come from or what kind of language we speak. For this time during Eurovision, we come together and enjoy ourselves, we celebrate, and one of the most important things, music is a language we all speak. This is what I believe in. This is what, for me, the contest is all about. That's the reason, if I really like a song, I vote for it. If I don't like a song, I don't vote for it. I don't connect that to the country. If I like a song from a country which I actually don't like, and this is quite unlikely because why would you dislike a country?
I actually do have countries I'm not very fond of, but I give it to them if they have good songs, and I'm not going to name those countries.
I still vote for the song, because the Eurovision Song Contest is about the music. Otherwise it would be called the Eurovision Country Contest. And in that case, well, that would be stupid. Yeah. This is how I discovered Eurovision. This is why I stayed. And this is why I'm looking forward to 2021 to watch the new edition of Open Up in Rotterdam, with hopefully the same artists and even better songs.
Alright, that's it with the video for today. If you liked the video, then please give it a like. And if you like the general idea of my channel, then please subscribe. For all the German people in my audience, why don't you just check out my blog? The link is in the video description. If you want to follow my Instagram, either German or English, the links are also in the description. So long, my friends, and I hope you will return for the next video. Goodbye.